Born and raised in Owensboro, Kentucky. Owensboro's always been home to me. It's a small enough community where you feel like everybody looks out for one another, but big enough to where it's not just some one stoplight town. So that's what I like about Owensboro. Sports have been a big part of my life since I was a little bitty, as long as I can remember. And of course, every kid who's into athletics growing up wants to be a professional athlete when they grow up, or at least I did, and my friends who are into sports, that's what they wanted to be. And as far as when that changed, it's like I didn't make that decision. Just kind of reality made that decision that I wasn't going to play football in the NFL. Kind of found that out early on. I played in college, knew that I was never going to play beyond that. But I wanted to play for as long as my body and people would allow me to play. And my dad's an attorney, so I always had it in the back of my mind that law school was something that I was going to seriously consider when the time came. And the time came when I was graduating college and trying to make plans for my future. And law school was where I wanted to go. Is there do I have parameters for what a sport is?
It's pretty broad. You could go with curling.
No. Definitely javelin or figure skating. I think both. Try to land a triple axel hammered. I think that'd be funny. What's the guy's name from South Park? Brian Boitano. What would Brian Boitano do? Yeah. Who knows what he'd do when he's hammered? Brian, take this shot of tequila and land a triple Lutz. Go to counseling. And that's the advice that I give to everyone. If they've not tried counseling, that should be step one. At least make the effort. I'm not a real big weapons expert or anything, but I would want some type of machine gun. Whatever gun that Arnold Schwarzenegger had in The Predator is what I would want. Probably my daughter. I want her to have the best in life. I want to be there, able to see her do all of her activities and things like that. And so I think that makes me work hard and motivated to get my work done, so I can have time off to spend with her. So I'd say she's definitely inspires me to do my best. Yeah, I don't know if I can go with one character. But I'm 40 years old, I'm divorced, and I have a child, a young child. I feel like I'm a character that somebody like Paul Rudd would play. So any rom-com that Paul Rudd or someone similar to Paul Rudd would play, you pick that character, and that's probably who I would most likely identify with. I read deposition transcripts all the time. And I don't always watch a deposition video. So what you say, I think, is more important, the actual words that come out of your mouth. Now, if you're speaking to somebody in person, obviously inflection and tone and things like that matter, but the actual words mean something. So I'd say what you say. I had a math professor in college by the name of Dr. Homer White, who, a math professor, he's a very intelligent man, and he also did yoga and taught yoga. And during tests, he would stand on his head in a yoga pose during the entire exam. Very interesting guy. Most of our conversations went well over my head, but when I did understand what he was talking about, he's a very, very interesting guy. They're people too. They've got families and backstories and jobs and everything else, just like I do. I know that there's, it's not a case number or a claim number. It's a person. So that's why they're important. I know that they go home once they leave my office and go on with their everyday life and have other things going on besides their legal case. And I think that's the most important thing to me.